Hi, Islamic Dad here. If you enjoy this channel and find these videos helpful, please subscribe. If you don't, please subscribe. I'm going to be doing a video today on how to deal with recovery and healing the trauma bond. And I'm calling this the heavy metal therapy. I'm, mostly a fan of electronic goth music, stuff like that. But there's a special place in my heart for heavy metal music. And one of the things that I love about heavy metal music, and especially the fans, is that they get it. They understand that life is brutal and painful, and they don't pretend otherwise. They're not going to lie about it. And like so much of the music is just in a roundabout way saying, yeah, life's brutal, it's tough, it sucks, but we're in it together. You're not the only one dealing with this. You're not alone, in your pain and the existence, and being alive today. So I was thinking about that, and I was also thinking about the trauma bond and how a lot of the stuff that I've read and come across with, recovering, healing the trauma bond, it's just crap. I mean, again, like, I'm not going to light candles, burn incense, rub crystals on my face, think of the future, look forward, don't look backwards, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't, maybe it works for some people. That crap doesn't work for me. And so, I find myself ruminating and thinking about like the good times. And I'm sure that most people that have, dealt with healing the trauma bond, do this too, where they might have this long relationship, and where their mind goes is the love bombing phase, and it just quietly pushes the entire rest of the relationship out of the picture, and your mind just focuses on the love bombing phase. And sadly, I don't think my mind is any different as far as like how it's perceive things as I've ruminated. But then I was thinking, and this is where it goes back to like the what I call the heavy metal therapy, is that I think that the healthiest way to get through the trauma bond is to dive in headfirst into the pain, and that you just need to think of all the bad experiences. Maybe even get your new age journal, the one with the rainbows that says live, laugh, love or something, and draw a skull on that, because that's stupid. And then open it up and write down the worst parts of the relationship with the narcissist. And what I think would be good is if you have those moments where maybe a day later, a week later, a month later, when you're like, oh, I miss my narcissist, you can grab that journal, open it up, and be like, what the hell did they do? They did that to me. And they said this? They can go to hell. It'll kind of like remind you of how awful and evil they were, but also with like concrete examples. Like, they did this, they said this to me, very solid things that your mind cannot argue with. And so, again, I know for me that like I've tried to be better about that for my own self. When I start ruminating and just grab myself and say, no, that was basically the love bombing phase was basically a lie. It was manipulation, and the things that I need to remember are all the horrible things that came after the love bombing phase. And I think that's, at this point, I think that is the only way to get through the trauma bond, because I don't want to be ruminating for the rest of my life. I don't want to be ruminating next year. Honestly, it's kind of, in a way, shocking to me that it's, 6 months later and I'm still, I still find myself, ruminating about the good old, times. And so I think that, like, just diving into the pain, the misery, the traumatic experiences, and being there and just reminding yourself that that is what the narcissist is. That is who they are. That you need to do that enough to quiet your mind from saying otherwise, from ruminating. And that I think, given enough time of reminding yourself how horrible the narcissist was with concrete examples, that, in time your mind will stop trying to, bring up, the few, memories that, happened, especially during the love bombing phase. So yeah, I'm calling that the heavy metal therapy. Maybe something like this already exists out there, but I have not been able to come across this. And so, at least for me, I think that it's the only way to get through the trauma bond and heal from it is to just dive headfirst into the pain.